This week's theme is diptych. Don't worry if you don't know what this word means. It's very simple and it's very easy to create. Essentially, a diptych is made up of two photographs side by side, and they can help you tell a really great story about your subjects, and they can help you dive deeper into the story that you're telling. So let's dive in and see how we can create beautiful diptychs no matter where we are. A diptych is a collage made up of two photographs. Only two photographs that can be vertically or horizontally placed. That depends on your preferences and on the subject that you're photographing. Diptychs are perfect for any kind of photographer, whether you specialize in landscapes, portraits, or something different. You'll be able to find something interesting in this kind of photography. It's very easy to create diptychs. The point is for you to create an interesting story that will draw the viewer in and make them think about the meaning behind your photograph. On its own, a single photograph might not be able to tell an effective story, but placed next to another photograph that complements the scene, it can really make a big difference. So I'll show you how you can do that easily in any situation. Whether you create a diptych using vertical photographs or horizontal photographs depends on you and on your location. If you're taking photographs in a forested area or in an area where there's a beautiful wide view, then of course definitely take horizontal photographs. If you're photographing something narrow, like a tree or just a couple of people or buildings, then vertical diptychs are going to be perfect for you. However, keep in mind that you should also experiment. So as you take photographs, if you find a subject that you really like, take horizontal and vertical photographs of it. So shoot in portrait and landscape orientation, just in case, because you never know. When you give yourself lots of options, even if they're unusual or if they are unconventional, then you'll be able to have really fun editing sessions and you might come up with even more original ideas than before. Now let's focus on telling a story through your diptychs. This is one of the most interesting parts of this kind of photography. It will allow you to think deeply about the subjects in front of you, and it will give you lots of opportunities to improve your photography skills. A very common kind of story told through diptych photography is zooming out and zooming in. So this is a great way to appreciate your surroundings, especially if you're outdoors. Typically when we see a landscape, we want to photograph it from afar, but instead of doing that, try to get close as well to certain subjects. So if you're in a forest, you want to maybe photograph the wide landscape that's in front of you. Make sure to approach some of the trees, get a closer look and see what they look like up close and photograph their texture. Then you can place these two photographs together and show people that nature has beautiful details and a beautiful view from afar. And it can tell an interesting story about your journey on that specific day. And of course, as you can already tell, it can greatly help you improve your photography skills because you won't just be focusing on one kind of photography. You'll be challenged to capture landscapes and close-ups and much more. If you're photographing people, you can also use the zoomed out and zoomed in approach. So you can take photographs of them from afar. You can also get close, and then you can stitch those photos together to create a wholesome experience and to give viewers a deeper understanding of your subject. So if you're working with people, make sure to take photographs of them from different angles, give yourself lots of options to choose from because that will give you the best editing experience later on. Let's say you have a photograph of a couple and they're standing together outdoors. When somebody looks at that image, they might not know the relationship that the couple has. Are they even together? Are they dating? Are they married? In a diptych, you can place that photograph on one side, and on the other side, you can place a close-up of their hands together. And the hands could be showing their wedding rings, engagement rings, anything. And that is the power of diptych photography. It can reveal someone's relationship with another person. It can show you something that people typically don't notice. Let's say if you're going outside for a walk, you might photograph details that are often overlooked. You have the big picture and you have a close-up. So this is the power of diptychs. You don't even need to use words to explain something, and that is incredibly powerful. And also, bonus tip, if you're photographing couples, make sure to give them as much guidance as possible. This applies to portrait photography of single people as well. As long as you're comfortable and confident as you shoot, and as long as you give your models lots of options to choose from, just gently guide them, let them know that they're doing a great job, shoot from different angles, and once again, give yourself as many options as possible so that you have a lot of things to choose from when you create your diptychs. Another interesting thing you can do with the help of diptych photography is emphasize similarities and differences. For example, if you're shooting outdoors and you notice a withered leaf, you might want to place that next to a photograph of a new leaf or a tree that looks really fresh. And that will emphasize the differences between things that are dying and things that are growing and are alive. On the other hand, you can emphasize similarities. So if you see someone's hair and it reminds you of grass, you can place those two photos together, a photo of someone's hair and a photo of grass, and highlight the similarities between humans and nature. So there's a lot you can do in diptych photography. There are many concepts you can approach, and it really depends on your location, your imagination, and the kind of subjects you like to photograph. So feel free to be flexible and have fun, and enjoy the process of coming up with exciting ideas with the help of this technique. Now it's time to stitch your diptych to create a diptych using two photographs. So all you need to do is open your editing program of choice. I'm using Adobe Photoshop. So I opened my first image. It's a double exposure photograph. And so I have another double exposure and I want to place it right next to this one. So all I need to do is go to the crop tool right here. And I'm going to widen the image. I'm going to create more space. And I can either do it on the left, on the right, or I can get super creative and do it in a different way and go in a different direction. But I want my second image to be placed right next to this photograph to its right. So I'm going to just make an estimate here. You don't need to worry about getting it right. Just make sure that the width is similar to the first image if they're both vertical. And then I press enter. And then I'm going to go to my folder and select the second image, drag it over, and then place it where I would like it to be. And as you can see, there's still some space left. So I'm going to press enter again. I'm going to go back to the crop tool and just extend the image until it looks complete. So this is how you create a diptych, and you can get even more creative here. So I have the second image and both people, these are self-portraits, so I'm facing in one direction in both photographs. So I want there to be more harmony in this diptych for it to look like it's telling a story and it's really connecting. So I'm going to press Command T. I'm going to select the second image and I'm going to right click. And then I'm going to experiment with these tools here. So I'll try rotating it 180 degrees, and that creates some kind of symmetry here. I'm also going to try flipping it horizontally, just experimenting. There's really no rules here, especially in diptych photography. It's completely up to you and your taste as a photographer. There are many other interesting tools you can experiment with. I typically avoid distortion because I don't want my images to look distorted. So I usually experiment with the flip vertical, flip horizontal, and then the rotation tools as well. And I'll press enter on my keyboard again, and that's the final image that I'm happy with. If I'm happy with it completely, then I will go to layer, flatten image, and you have your final image. And of course you can resize it and then post it anywhere you like. So this is how you can easily create a diptych and editing program. I hope you enjoyed learning about diptych photography. This genre is perfect for anyone who wants to tell an interesting story, and you can easily do that by stitching photographs together and by going to different locations, zooming in and out, and experimenting with different angles. Now it's your turn to take diptychs. Pick a subject that you like, whether it's outdoors or indoors, get creative, try to tell a story about something that means something special to you. See you next week.